Whether you're a student or a reporter, you're going to have a lot of opportunity to cover people talking, and often that'll come in the form of speeches. So let's see how to cover those. So what is a speech? And basically, it's someone who's speaking to a group of people in a structured environment in a deliberate manner, and there's a specific topic. And the goal of that opportunity is to inform, to influence the audience, to entertain them in some way. Some of the examples of speeches that you might cover as a reporter would be the State of the Union address, an awards acceptance speech, something at a conference, someone presenting as part of a conference event, or a commencement. Now, one of the great things about speeches is you know in advance most of what you need to know. So you know where it's going to be, when it's going to be, who's going to be speaking, what the topic is going to be. The speaker, for the most part, does all the heavy lifting. But the challenges are you don't get a second chance. So if you don't get down the information you need, there's not really the chance for it to be repeated. You're stuck with what you have. So a good speech is great. A boring speech is going to be some work for you. If there's multiple people covering this speech, you do run the risk of all writing the same story. So you need to really be able to extrapolate something that's compelling. And a lot of times they're boring. They go on for a long time. A lot of speeches last for an hour. So it's important that you kind of stay engaged and get the pieces out of it that the reader will want. What you need to do is to do some research before you get there. Who is the speaker? Why are they speaking? What's their goal? You need to show up for sure. You need to actually be there to cover the speech. Pay attention to what's going on around you, to the speech itself. Make sure your notes are accurate and that you capture what the speaker says authentically. Distill out what's important, what pieces of this are going to be the most important for the reader. You're still going to have to fact check them. So if your speaker says that World War II ended in 1949, that's not right. So you need to make sure that you put the information that's correct. Select the best quotes, and you're going to paraphrase a ton of what this person says. Basically show this reader, why should I care about this? Please remember, it is not the fact that a speech occurs that's newsworthy. It's what occurs at the speech. So you wouldn't want to start with, President Obama spoke at Ohio State University on Thursday. That's not significant. You would want to talk about what it was that the president said. This really is just applying your news judgment, and that kind of precursor work that you're going to do is going to help you. You want to focus on the topic. Let's get some information on who the speaker is. What's the setting? Is this some sort of special event? Is this an anniversary, a commemoration? What is it? And put that context in there. Who's likely to be in the audience? You can ask for a copy of a speech beforehand. A lot of times speakers will have them and they'll provide them to you. That doesn't mean, though, that they're going to give the speech that they've handed you. So you need to make sure you're still listening and that you get the speech that's been given and not the one you think that will have been given, and that you listen to it all the way through. So, backgrounding ahead of time is a great way to get started on your story. You can write it out beforehand. You can really put that biographical information already in the story and have that ready to go. Get a good seat. Don't necessarily sit in the back, but don't necessarily sit in the front. So you want to make sure you can see the audience, but still see the speaker. I give you this example of this picture because if you weren't close enough to Sarah Palin, you wouldn't have seen the notes she wrote in her hand. Monitor the mood of the crowd. See what's unique about the speaker, what sets them apart. I usually take notes and I record the speech. I'll take notes so that I know which quotes I want to get, but I'll record it to make sure that I'm accurate. Take great notes. The more color that you have, the more description of what's going on around you, what the speaker does, what the audience does, what the environment's like. Where does the audience react the most? Is there a big or a laugh? Where's the speaker the most emphatic? Try to get an estimate of how many people are there. All of that's going to be interesting in your story. For the most part, what you're going to write in the lead is going to be the most newsworthy point. And a lot of times this comes at the end. So, that kicker that people bring you home with could be what you lead your story with. The second graph will be a quote that supports what the major theme of the speech is. And then the third graph will tell you, Hillary Clinton spoke Thursday at Ohio State, blah, 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 blah. And then the rest of the story is going to be quotes, descriptions, backgrounds, reactions. So you're going to want to talk to people who are in the audience and about what they felt about the speech. Don't rehash the speech. Don't give us line by line what they said. We don't need a transcript. We really need to pick the main point and then write in descending order of importance.